Hey guys, this is Eli. I'm from the small town of Anna, Illinois, and my dream is to get a record deal and sing country music. My family's always told me that I've been singing and playing music since I was able to stand up. So I was always walking around the house singing little random jingles that I learned in pre-K or on the school bus or something. I hated country music at first. When I was little, I would listen to nothing but gospel music, and I guess as I grew up I kind of learned that my lyrics kind of tied into country music a little more and related to that kind of style a little more, and as I got older I fell in love with it.
About 6 or 7 years ago I met Eli, and he was just a little kid, and he came to Nashville, was just full of hopes and dreams of becoming country's next superstar, but he was really young, and I knew he had a ways to go to get educated in the whole music business and how things actually work, but I knew that he had a lot of talent. We just kind of over the years have stayed in contact a little bit, and a few years ago he came into the studio and played me some songs that he had written, and I loved what I was hearing, and I saw the potential, and so I thought, well, all these years that I've been touring with all these big acts, Faith Hill, Richard Marx, and all these people, that started using my contacts to help push somebody like this. And he's from my home area, and so I had a little bit of an interest there just because I wanted to make something happen for somebody from my home area.
It's definitely helpful having somebody like him who has worked with Faith Hill for 10 years and went straight from her to Richard Marx to John Michael Montgomery, and so it's actually pretty cool to say I'm working with somebody who does all that.
The obstacles that we're running into are some things, some personal issues that I've had to deal with Eli. He had a very rough upbringing, some problems with some alcoholism in his family and drug addictions and some things that he's been around his whole life, so he's not really had a great structured lifestyle from a child, being in foster home and all.
My childhood was pretty rough. There were some good times, but for the most part it was kind of hard for, it was a hard atmosphere for a child to grow up in. We lived in a town called Royalton, and I can remember, my mom and dad coming home from the bars and, just fighting, and my brother and I would run across the street to the neighbors because they had a phone and we didn't, and we'd call 911, and that was actually a pretty regular routine right there. I guess the worst part is actually I can remember, getting up in the middle of the night and kind of being afraid that we would step on a dirty needle or something, and there'd be a needle on the sink, and I'd always think to myself, what if I didn't turn the light on and I would have put my elbow on the sink, and those kind of memories just kind of stick with you. The house was just supposed to be a temporary thing to get us out of foster care, and we ended up being there for about 3 or 4 years. Sometimes, mostly on warm summer nights, I'll go to the house and kind of reminisce, kind of think back and think about where I came from, and it's still pretty much in the same beat up old condition. Broken windows and peeling paint and just falling apart.
Part of growing up in a rough environment, he's just not really had a lot of structure in his life, and so that's kind of one of the roles that I'm playing and hoping to help to guide him, not only musically but in his personal life.
I've been very fortunate actually to have people around me who care about me and want to see me succeed, and who are actually helping me with all of this.
So at the same time that I'm trying to produce the project on Eli, I'm also trying to mentor him, give him a little more structure and discipline. I ride him pretty hard sometimes. There's times that I want him to be here on time and he's late because he's not used to having somebody to tell him be here, be somewhere.
Steve is a little tough on me sometimes, but I guess you kind of have to be. And if he plans something, he expects me to be there on time and look a certain way and act a certain way.
For the last 6 months or so, Eli and I have been talking a lot about his imaging because we're getting ready to go to Nashville and have a photo shoot taken, or writing up his new promotional package and getting a bio together and all that kind of stuff. So an important part of his career right now is that when people see him, as well as hearing him, when we turn in a product to somebody, I want them to see the package and go, this kid looks like a star. We want to hear him play.
Steve, my producer, is getting on to me about haircuts and makeovers and that sort of thing, and not exactly sure how I feel about that right now since I've never had a makeover. When I hear makeover, I kind of think woman, and I'm not a woman.
One of the things that I've been stressing to Eli is that in my position as his producer and all the years that I've been in the business, he's really the first artist that I've decided to take on as a project that I'm going to put my name, my label on to, pushing him. So I'm going to be using a lot of the contacts that I've made over the years. And that first impression is not only Eli's first impression, it's their first impression on what I think is really good. I got to make sure he's ready. I can't give away all that I have gained in 25 years on somebody who's not prepared.
My producer's always introducing me to people in this industry, and it can be a little scary sometimes, you know, especially coming from where I came from. And you go from the very bottom to meeting higher class people in the music business, and you're just so nervous, and overall it's a little scary.
Right now we've been in the studio recording the first couple songs on Eli's project, and it's going great. I mean, he's been writing great stuff. The songs are sounding great, which eventually you're going to get to hear some clips from what we've been doing, and also some behind the scenes on how the recording process is going and what we're doing with each song, hoping that at the end you're going to love the project and want to get a copy of it. The next step will be for me to take all the contacts that I've been making to try to get them to come out and see Eli perform somewhere. I'll take his promotional package in the CD to record labels, places like that, different big management companies, and hope that somebody says, I love the way he sounds, whether he looks, let's see him perform live. At that time, we'll set up a showcase somewhere in Nashville at one of the bigger clubs, bring in a Nashville band, a bunch of guys that I work with that tour with all the big artists, and get the buzz created around town about this kid Eli Tellor, and hopefully that we'll get some label interest and take it from there.
Ever since I was young, I kind of knew that music was going to be my out, you know, my way of making my life better. Now that I'm older and I'm actually doing it and I'm seeing all of these things happening, I understand now that that can come true.
You know, one of the questions that people keep asking me, you know, even on the streets here that know Eli and, you know, and know me and my background, are asking me if I think that Eli's got what it takes. Is he going to be able to make it? Can he, you know, make a name for himself in this business? I've said it time and time again, the kid's got all the talent in the world. Does he got the talent to do it? Absolutely he does. Could he be a hit songwriter? Absolutely he can. It comes down to his determination, how bad does he really want it? Is he ready to work for it? We're wanting you to get an insider's look to the struggles and the fun parts of you know, going from just being the guy in a small town to hopefully a guy that the whole world knows.
And my ultimate goal, of course, is to actually be on the road and do this for a living. And this whole thing means the world to me. I just want to show that somebody like me who came from where I came from can actually be somebody. I'm hoping to prove everybody that I was right.
I remember thinking, it's almost like I'm dreaming.